Then bam, your sister hits you with, "So I'm kind of pregnant with your husband's baby." Excuse me? Perhaps it's time to snip snip. Not my circus, not my monkeys. Nope, this is not a me problem. I'm waving my pink flag. Hey guys, I'm V and welcome to today's episode. We're going to be diving into a bunch of chaotic but true Reddit stories from the internet. And our theme is sometimes life happens. What are we going to do about it? I have to admit, I could be having the best day ever, but then if something bad suddenly happens, it could ruin my whole mood. I like to think that I am able to stay positive and more or less get over it quickly, but sometimes I do take a moment to wallow. Now, in today's story, we're going to be wondering when life happens and the unexpected occurs, what is OP going to do? Are they going to be able to move on and keep it going? Or do they end up wallowing themselves? So let's get into our first story. Oh, and throughout the story, I will be mentioning OP, and OP just stands for Original Poster. Our first story is from the subreddit aita. Am I the a-hole for not helping my sister who became homeless just after she gave birth to her and my soon-to-be ex-husband's baby? My sister, 24-year-old female, and I, 26-year-old female, were really close our whole lives, and we moved away from our parents together when she was 18 and I was 20. I met my soon-to-be ex-husband here, and we got married, and my sister stayed close. We spent a lot of time together. Then, a few months ago, I learned my sister was pregnant and my husband was the father. I ended my marriage to him immediately and I told my sister I wanted nothing more to do with her and she was on her own. I had some of her stuff at my place and left it at my ex's place for her. For the rest of the pregnancy, they were living together and then he wouldn't let her back in after the baby was born. She called our parents from the hospital and told them she had nowhere to go, that he was looking for custody and didn't want her back, and I wasn't answering her calls. So they called me, and after I heard them explain what was going on, I told them it wasn't my problem. They tried to argue, but I wasn't having any of it. Okay, we're 2 paragraphs in, and I have to say, sometimes we have OPs that kind of go on and on with their stories. I think they kind of start, there's the destination. I see where they're going with the story, but then they're taking like 5 billion detours. Here, OP is pretty much straight to the point. Where does one start? Husband is cheating with the sister, but how OP finds out is because of the baby? Oh, no. The focus seems to be that apparently after giving birth, the sister is now getting kicked out of ex-husband's place. So she's essentially homeless, and OP's the one that's being pressured to house her. I'm conflicted. On one end, in no universe would I ever tell a woman that she needs to house the mistress and potentially the affair baby. But then on the other side, it's rare to see that the mistress is her sister. So, I don't know. I don't know what I would do here. But let's see what OP says. OP says she got a place at a shelter for single parents and she's still there several weeks on. With the custody dispute, she can't move back to her parents, and I'm still refusing to help her out. My parents are angry because I won't even take her calls or reply to any messages she sent. I actually blocked her because I knew she wouldn't stop. My parents don't know that part, but they're telling me I should be ashamed of myself for turning my back on her and the baby. I told my parents I owe her and the baby nothing. I told them it was just a shame she didn't choke on his dick when they were sleeping together behind my back. My parents called me disgusting for leaving them homeless, that I have room and could help. Am I the a-hole? I think your parents may have a mix of priorities here. Excuse me? Maybe sister should have thought about her long-term end goal sooner. I mean, it seems like she's kind of, what's that phrase? Don't where you eat. She was living with a sister, or OP. Sister was living with OP. They were close. They had a great relationship. And then, bam, she goes into the relationship with OP's husband and has an affair baby and didn't plan ahead. And now she's homeless. And okay, why is it on OP though? Just because of the sibling relationship? Why don't the parents house her then if they feel so strongly about this?
Right, I was gonna say that. Why aren't the parents housing her?
They probably don't want to. Maybe the parents have something else going on where they're just trying to dump responsibility on OP. I mean, if they feel so so strongly about this, maybe they can work up some space in their couch for sister to stay. I don't know. See, some people will say, oh, no matter what mistakes are made, no matter what happens, family is family. And I'm a hard no in this circumstance. No, the ultimate betrayal was not only the lying and the betrayal with sister's husband. It's just the bond is gone. I feel like the bond just shatters. This is one of those things. And so far, it doesn't seem like sister's done anything to want to repair the relationship. It feels more like boo-hoo, woe is me. I effed up. I did bad. And so now I need help. Someone needs to fix my problem. That's what it feels like. Although I am surprised that the husband just booted her out. So I'm wondering what's going on there. Opie doesn't have any details on that though. If your sibling did this, would you house them? Knowing that they're homeless.
I don't think so.
Yeah? What would you do if your parents were calling and saying, no, but they're family and you're the older sibling. You got to do what's right. Be the bigger person.
Sorry, not my problem.
I agree with you. I'd be like, um, not my circus, not my monkeys. Nope, this is not a me problem. Now let's see what some of the comments say. First comment from Happy New Yorker. Okay, your sister can't stay with your parents. Why can't your parents pay for an apartment or have family work out? Why does it have to be you? Not the a-hole. That's one crazy bleeping sister, not the a-hole. Your parents don't want to deal with the situation and yet they want you to take on the responsibility to help? Exactly my point. It feels very much like the parents are standing on the side as semi onlookers and kind of thinking, oh, the sister can deal with it. The sister's the responsible one. She'll take care of it. Next comment from Upbeat Vanilla. So your parents were okay with her screwing around with your husband and getting pregnant? Nah, keep them all blocked, not your circus. I love it when comments and I are on the same wavelength. We got another response to this. Another commenter says, well, we all know who the golden child is. It could be. I'm wondering if this might be one of those households where one sibling can never do any wrong. No matter what mistake is done, it's okay. We'll welcome her back to the fold. So, guys, I started with a story because when I was looking at this, first thing I'm thinking is imagine you're going through life, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, you're just relaxing, having a chill time. Then, bam, your sister hits you with, so I'm kind of pregnant with your husband's baby. Uh, I'm just glad that OP handled this as gracefully as she has. And they're fairly young too. So sister is 24 years old right now and OP is 26. So they're super close in age. So I can only imagine how heartbreaking this was. Mm-mm. I feel like siblings that are that close in age, a lot of times, especially sisters, they tend to be kind of super close friends. And even OP here mentioned it too. So honestly, shame on the sister. I don't think this even needs to be asked, but you are definitely not the a-hole. What's your verdict?
It's obvious.
Yeah? I think some of these stories, it's obvious, but the only reason why OPs start second guessing themselves is because you have family whispering the opposite in their ear or like guilting them or trying to pressure them into doing the very opposite of what they want to do. So, OP, stand your ground. Do not house this home wrecker. Although I do want to take a moment to say, you guys, don't worry. Don't worry. I'm hard on the sister here just because I think her relationship was so sacred to OP. But let's not forget about the soon to be ex-husband. He's trash. He's trash. He doesn't even need a whole summary of me ranting about him, okay? So, I'm just as mad about him. And if you guys have thoughts on this story or advice for OP, don't forget to comment below and like this episode, guys. Let me know that you're enjoying stories like this. And don't forget to hit subscribe. Although, if you are tuning in from Spotify, don't forget to rate me 5 stars. Thanks, guys. Now, our next story is our our wild pick. Wild pick is just a story that's a little bit kooky, a little bit chaotic. But when I heard it, I was thinking, ooh, I want to hear your thoughts on this. So this story is from the subreddit, Am I the A-hole? Am I the a-hole for buying a PS5 without my boyfriend and saying it's mine? I feel like some of you guys may or may not have sentiments towards PS5 or different thoughts on this. And for the girlies that may not know, not that I'm a super gaming girly either, but PS5 is what? PlayStation 5? It's just gaming console, kind of like Nintendo Switch, but like, I don't want to say it's geared more towards dudes. I just see a lot of guys buying it. I think PS5 is obviously for everybody. It's just that when I think of PS5, Lululemons are to women as PS5s are to men. That's the analogy that comes to mind. Like, the girls that really love Lululemon jackets or like the really expensive handbags or a certain brand of something and they're like super fans of it. I feel like PS5 has a very dedicated, strong male audience. Not that women aren't, also playing on the PS5, but that's what it reminds me of. Although it's funny because I'm looking at our PS5 right now behind M because we also got one this year. Do you want to tell them why we ended up getting a PS5?
No.
No. It was because of a game. Was it GTA, right? Which stands for Grand Tour Attractions. Why are you laughing? I'm close. I can feel it's Grand something.
Grand Theft Auto.
Wait, why did I say Grand Tour? Oh, wait, is Grand Tour is the show.
Hmm.
It's also a car show. So I was pretty close. Grand Tour Attraction was pretty close. I mean, you do drive cars in this game, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I would say I was almost there, guys.
Well, I got it for the upcoming release whenever that comes.
See, this is why I said the PS5 is to gamer dudes, as the Lululemons are to the ladies, or cute purses, or cute clothes, or cute anything, to be honest. Now, let's see what OP says about this. OP says, my boyfriend, 26-year-old male, and I, 26-year-old female, have been together for about 8 months. We live together but have split financials. I worked hard and went to college, which is why I have a well-paid job. When I met my boyfriend, he didn't have a serious job, but he worked hard so we could live together, and he now has a job with a decent income. He makes less than me, and the rent, etc., are divided pro rata. I paid for the first month of our rent alone and for our holidays, and he still has to pay me back. But there's no rush as I don't need the money right away. We really love gaming together. He plays on his PS4 and I play on my Nintendo Switch. He mentioned he would like to buy a PS5 together so we can ditch the Switch because it's lagging a lot. We did not talk about who would play on the PS4 and who would play on the PS5, but the cost would be split in half. I also said I would love to have a PS5 since I play on the Switch and it sucks. My boyfriend does not have enough money and still had to pay me back for the vacation, so we dropped the subject. Interesting. Okay, so I've played the Switch before. I guess you can connect to the same games with different consoles, like with Switch and PS4s and 5s.
It's limited number of games though.
Oh, okay. So like a few number of games. I don't know what the difference is between the PS4 and 5, but I'm imagining PS5 is probably like the sleeker, newer, shinier version, maybe with a few more features, bells and whistles.
Yeah. Also newer games.
Oh, okay. Do the games update? Like, will older games also work on the PS5? Or only like PS5 games will work on PS5s?
I think if I'm not mistaken, it's also backwards compatible up to a certain point.
Okay, so some games.
Yeah, but that's also
Mm,
I guess PlayStation 5 or PS5 is faster, I guess, so games run more smoothly.
okay. Okay, interesting. I love that they're a gaming couple. I think it's so cute that they share like this hobby together. OP says, but since we've been gaming a lot, my Switch is starting to annoy me. The console is slow and it does not have enough capacity to load my games. That's why I decided to buy a PS5. I have more than enough savings to do so. I texted my boyfriend I wanted to buy a PS5 later that day, and I did. Now my boyfriend's pissed because he wanted to buy a PS5 together. It would take several months before he would have enough savings, which is why I bought it myself. He also asked if the PS5 belonged to the both of us or just me. I responded that the PS5 is mine until he pays half of it, but he can always play on it if I'm not home. He got upset by this and said he was disappointed. So, am I the a-hole for buying a PS5 without my boyfriend and saying it's mine? Um, mm, I am conflicted. So, on one hand, Sharing is caring, especially with games. See, Emma and I game too. We don't always game together, play the same games, but you know, we're kind of expected to share some of our games. Like it's more fun sometimes that way. I I don't know. I don't want to be nitpicky about this, but OP did buy it because boyfriend contributed nothing to it. And a relationship is still fairly new-ish. And it seems like they do keep the finances separate, as I mentioned. So I'm kind of on board, I think leaning a bit on board that OP's way of dealing with this was correct. That it is, I hate to be that person, but when OP's going in and saying, me, myself, and I, this is my PS5, I kind of agree with her, surprisingly, in this one instance, at least until the boyfriend coughs up some of the money, because we know that boyfriend is still struggling to pay back some of the other expenses that they had. I like how his response to this whole thing is now the boyfriend's super upset and he's just like, I'm disappointed. I'm just imagining OP's like playing, breaking out the sleek new PS5, maybe putting a pretty like sticker deco or make girlifying it or making it cutesy or something. I wonder if there's a pink PS5. That would be cute. I hope they make pink ones. Do they?
I don't think they make it, but you can add, I guess, like stickers on it and things
Ooh,
like that.
I'm tempted. Honey, can I make your PS5 pink?
Sure, go for it.
Oh, okay. I might put some bows and stuff. It'll be cute. It'll be cute. But here's the thing. I'm imagining always having her grand time. I don't know what a PS5 game would be. Maybe something like for whatever reason, I'm thinking like Sims. I don't know if you can play Sims on PS5. Can you?
Probably can.
Probably. Like I'm just imagining she's playing Sims or something fun. I mean, for all I know, maybe she whips out the Mortal Kombat, which is also chill. Also cool. And then boyfriend's just sitting on the side with his PS4 looking all sad and resentful at her. Like, I think it's a little silly, but OP, it's yours. If you need to put a name tag on it. No, don't. Actually don't. That'll be petty. That'll be petty. Don't put a name tag on it. But I think you need to stand your ground here. Because it's also the principle, right? Of not to count pennies between one another in a relationship, but until at least part of the debt is paid from the other expenses, I think it's fair for you to set your boundaries. And it's not like you're saying, oh, you can't play it at all. It's more like, oh, when I'm not home or when I'm not using it, you can play on it. So it doesn't really matter at that point who the PS5 technically belongs to. I think it's fair how you set that up. What do you think?
I think OP was being fair.
Yeah.
Especially that she's willing to share the console. I'm really not understanding where the boyfriend is coming from. The only thing I can see is that it was something they're gonna do together,
Yeah. And the OP went ahead and just did it.
right? But I mean, that's about it.
Yeah.
Is that what he's upset about, or is he upset about something else?
Well, it just says here, and it could be a little bit vague. It just says here, boyfriend's pissed because he wanted to buy a PS5 together. And OP's argument is it's going to take several months before he has enough savings. So she wanted it to play with right now. But if she waits for him, then it's a few months. And I guess boyfriend's not upset because technically that means he can't really play on it. It's just OP's.
Just think of another case where a similar scenario would be. Yeah, I don't know. I just personally don't feel such attachment to, I guess, things and
Yeah.
electronics. Let's say you decided to get a new car. Well, okay, I guess, or something like that.
Yeah.
I just don't. I don't know.
Yeah, we don't really relate to that as much. Oh, you know what I do relate to though? Food. Man, if we were supposed to, there have been times, and it's going to sound silly, guys, where if I'm going to go out, right? There are certain foods that I'm not going to go out and eat alone. For example, am I going to treat myself to our favorite steak restaurant without M, my fiance, who chimes in here, or Mr. Deep Voice, as you guys call him? No, I wouldn't. And M's not as much of a foodie as I am, but correct me if I'm wrong. Would it be a slight betrayal if I went and gorged at this fancy steakhouse, our favorite steakhouse, without you and didn't say anything?
Yeah.
Like, it's almost like, now before you guys jump on the, oh my God, that's so weird that you guys can't eat. No, it's not that. Okay. It's just, It's almost like we have like certain things that we like to enjoy together, like our favorite restaurant. So then it kind of feels weird and it's super pricey there too. So it's also that feels weird to drop such a both a large expense, but then also to do something special without each other. Like I go out to eat or he'll go out to eat with his friends without me. Like that's fine. But like not to the place that we both love, if that makes sense. So I kind of get that feeling. It's fair here. I think it's fair here. I do feel kind of bad for the boyfriend now because he's gonna have to pine and watch his girlfriend or OP like play this amazing, better version of his console for months.
Yeah, but you could argue that she's been on the Nintendo Switch, which is
That's
less
true.
powerful, slower
That's
gaming
true.
console. So yeah.
You're right. She has been technically on the, I don't want to say like the lower end of devices, but almost like the less sleek experience of tech,
I guess you could argue it has different style of games,
I
but
guess.
it is way slower.
Yeah. Because on Nintendo Switch, I'm picturing like Animal Crossing. I can't imagine someone playing like a super like I don't know like a Valorant game on Animal Crossing. I
You
don't even know if
you
it's
you
on. I
can't
mean,
even play
on
certain
Nintendo.
games.
Hmm?
It's just those games don't run on Switch.
I
And
can
then
imagine. It's
even
terrifying.
other games that you can play on other consoles, they're just on Nintendo Switch. They're just run worse,
Mm.
lower frame rate, and they take way longer to load. So
Oh man, OP. I think you're great. I think you're doing well. You're obviously not that whole, and may your gaming experience be amazing and phenomenal.
see, I have a problem with both of them. They
Why?
should be PC gaming.
Oh, that's true.
That's the ultimate
They should have
experience.
just gone to the PCs. I'm telling you guys, I had never done any PC games, like games on the computer, before I met M. And since then, my life has been forever changed. It's a whole different experience. The mouse click is just so much faster than you punching down a button on a controller.
Well, you can still play with controller, but it's just
But it's so much
it's a different experience.
slower.
Yeah, it's better experience on the PC.
It makes me anxious in a way because it's almost like I already have slow reflexes when it comes to, especially I like the combat games, guys. So imagine like my character's literally turning like a robot. Like I need something that's gonna give me a slight edge in movement, okay, in the game. I need to move a little bit faster than I actually am. So that's why. Also, if you guys are looking for good co-op games, we recently finished Enchanted. I like that one. It's very cute. You make potions, there's nice graphics. Um, it's a good way to test your friendship with someone. If you yell at each other, it's all part of the game. Just make sure you don't actually destroy the friendship over it. It's kind of like Overcooked. Now let's see what the comments say. First comment from Comfortable Box. Not the whole, you said he can use it and have ownership when he can afford it. I don't see what the problem is. He should be thankful your salary and hard work has allowed both of you to enjoy the PS5 sooner than if you waited for him to save. Oh, that is a good point. Technically, he should be seeing it, I think, as a mutual win. Commenter also says, I think he's just insecure about money and probably feels like you're just buying a PS5. Well, he's still catching up on his debt to you, and it's making him feel inferior. That's a him problem, not a you problem. You're an adult with adult money that you've worked hard for and can spend it as you please. Maybe you should tell him he can't play on the PS5 until he can afford it, since he seems so keen to, quote, bite the hand that feeds him. Oh, I got a hard disagree with you there. I don't know if OP wants to go down that road, especially if you want to stay in the relationship and you like this guy and this is just like one small fight that you're having. I would not go the route of you can't play on the PS5 until you pay me money to like own half of it. I just wouldn't go there because it feels more like you're giving him an ultimatum, but it's over this console. I would get it if the ultimatum's over the other expenses that he still owes you for, but I wouldn't do it on the console. I don't think it's worth the fight that it's going to be. Does that make sense? It's almost like I want to tell you, OP, pick and choose your fights and battles. Stand your ground for sure, but I wouldn't ban your boyfriend from playing the console when you just said that he can. I just wouldn't do that. Like, I wouldn't do that as a way to punish him. What do you think? Should OP ban boyfriend from playing at all since he has this attitude?
I am just having difficulty connecting the punishment with the boyfriend's reaction. I guess it just doesn't make much sense to me. Like I can see how the commenter made that connection, but I don't agree with it.
Yeah.
And so I don't think the punishment of banning a boyfriend from using the console is like what are you punishing the boyfriend from? Like,
For throwing a tantrum for getting them closer to the PS5, basically.
yeah, it's just
I just wouldn't.
I feel like it's just adding fuel to the
Oh, yeah.
fire.
Oh, for sure. Oof. So I think communication here goes a long way, a very long way. Another comment, not the whole, I'm struggling to see his perspective here. I understand that you discussed buying the PS5 together at some point, but he can't afford it. You bought it anyway, and you're still offering to let him use it when you're not. What more does he want? To me, it sounds like he's jealous because he wants to play the PS5 and possibly stick you with the PS4. I just can't understand why else this would matter so much to him. 8 months isn't very long. If you didn't live together yet, but were thinking about it, I'd encourage you to wait longer. He's already relying on you financially. To me, there are some pink flags here. Be careful.
So let's say pink flags.
Yeah, pink flags is such a cute naming for it, though. I'm imagining it's something it's not so rough as is a red flag, but pink flags, you need to call it something else.
I
Pink
mean,
flag sounds too nice.
why wouldn't you use orange or something? I mean, you have a green.
Oh,
Usually, you would signify with like orange. I guess that's
well, I feel like you would say yellow then, yellow flag.
yeah, or even yellow.
That's true. Orange or yellows actually makes more sense with the consequence of this. But pink flags, it kind of sounds like dainty. Like I'm waiting for my pink flag. I see pink flags everywhere. It's kind of cute. No, we can't call it pink flags though. Um, I am a little bit concerned. Like, jokes aside, I am a little bit concerned because it seems like there is potential that the real fight isn't about the PS5, PS4 at all, and it's more about the financial inequality. Because I know a lot of couples do feel some sort of way about this. If one partner makes significantly more and the other doesn't, but then they're living together and having to match lifestyles, it can be hard. It's a little awkward, to be honest. So I'm very curious how Obi plans on handling this and how boyfriend plans to discuss this because I think it's a issue you probably want to tackle now, sooner than later. I advise any of you guys that are dating and as your girlfriend on the internet, I'm telling you, my ladies out there or dudes, whomever, if you're in a relationship and you guys have never spoken about finances and you want to see this person long term, you might at one point, some point soon, want to bring up how you see finances, just general values, how you go about it, or what type of lifestyle you're looking to maintain or have. What if while you were waiting for the PS5, because I remember back when it first launched, there was like a huge wait for it. What if I got it, you didn't? And then I said, all right, babe, I'm going to be playing on the PS5 like every day. But don't worry, you can have it when I leave the house.
Sure.
You say that now. I feel like you would sneak and just like, when I'm playing it, you jump in too. I think we just end up playing with it together, to be honest. Because can't you just connect multiple controllers to it?
But I
Right?
think it's just only a few games that you can kind of play.
Oh, right.
Like
Because only for
it's
co-op,
like split
right?
screen, I guess, or co-op on one console.
Oh, well, I have one solution. OP, you can play Mario Kart with your boyfriend on PS5. Then you guys both have some time on it. Why are you shaking your head?
Can't play Mario Kart on
You
PS5.
can't?
No, it's a Nintendo game.
What does that have to do with anything?
I think you can only play it on the Switch or on other Nintendo consoles.
That's so dumb. That's such a good game. Oh my God, that makes the game console sound so clicky.
I mean, it's like that. There's Xbox exclusive.
I guess it's because I think of PC because we play a lot of PC games. A lot of the console games are also just on PC,
Yeah.
like by default. So that's why I'm a little bit surprised. Now, this one is from the subreddit AITAH. Am I the a-hole for refusing to demote my dog after my sister gave her baby the same name? We've had a few discussions about names before, guys, in past episodes. I still remember, I think the one story I read before, and it still sticks with me, that someone named their child Rough. And I just couldn't. I thought that was pretty rough. Why are you shaking your head? I thought that was so good. You did not see that one coming. I had the whole comedic pause too, so you can fully take it in. Like the naming stories, it's just pure comedy sometimes. I hope you guys get a laugh out of this one. Opie says, I, 26-year-old female, have a dog named Charlie. Charlie is a golden retriever I adopted 4 years ago, and he's my best buddy. My sister, Emily, 29-year-old female, recently had her first child, a baby boy. She and her husband named him Charlie. At first, I thought it was funny and didn't really think much of it. But then Emily pulled me aside during a family gathering and said it was confusing and disrespectful for me to keep calling my dog Charlie now that her son has the same name. She asked me to rename my dog. I told her, no. Oh, no. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be laughing. Like someone's having an actual family argument over this. But you know what strikes me as weird? I'll be honest. I have this. This is my hot take. I think it's weird to name your pets human names. Only because it's almost like, how do you look at a dog and go, "Ugh, he's a Charlie," or that's a Bob? Do you know what I mean? It's just weird. To me, it just feels weird. I don't judge. You know, you guys, I'm sure you guys are probably yelling at me right now, looking at your pets looking at you and just going, hey, that's my name. That's fine. You name whatever you want to name your fur baby, your actual baby, right? Like I have no say. But it's almost like, for example, would you ever look at Mango? I have Mango, my orange cat, next to me right now. Would you ever look at her and go, oh, that's a Stella? That's her name, Stella. Like, no, she looks like a mango to me. Although, what does that say about me? Because apparently, I know there's also the other popular name for pets are also food dishes. Not that we want to eat our pets, okay? It's just, I don't know. Mango looks like a mango, doesn't she? I think Mango looks like a mango. Do you think so?
Well, yeah, because we call her Mango.
Yeah, but I mean, her name was almost carrots, cinnamon. I think those were the top two other contenders. Eventually, we settled on Mango, and she likes her name. But like, I could never imagine just calling like even Beanie, my other cat. Like, what would I call her? Margaret, Tabitha? Like, that's just weird. I don't know. Maybe that's just a me thing. But that's my hot take. You guys can let me know. What do you name your pets? Comment below. Let me know. Now, Opie says, I told her no. Charlie has been his name for 4 years. He knows it, he responds to it, and it's on all his paperwork. Changing it would be weird for him and for me. She got really upset and said it's not fair for her son to share a name with a dog, especially in family settings. She thinks it will lead to jokes and confusion as her son grows up. Why was this not a consideration when she named her son? I mean, I hate to say it, but with names, I really do believe pets or not, or humans or whatever, first come, first serve, kind of. Like, I mean, the dog is for 4 years. He's been a Charlie. It's kind of weird to all of a sudden tell Charlie, hey, you're not Charlie anymore, you're Bob. It's just, okay, sister. Opie says, my parents have weighed in, and while my dad says it's ridiculous to expect me to change my dog's name, my mom says I should just consider it to keep the peace. Now, Emily's barely speaking to me, and new family members think I'm being stubborn. I have no idea how I'm in the wrong here. The world's gone crazy. I love my dog and I didn't name him to spite anyone. I also think it's not my fault. They chose a name already in use in the family. Am I the a-hole? No. You keep Charlie as Charlie. Okay. What do people who have both pets and a family member with the same name do? Like at family events. Do you just say Charlie 1, Charlie 2, for example? Do you say Bob 1, Bob 2? Or do you just go Charlie and then they both come and you're just like, no, other Charlie.
I guess that can happen, but because I guess, yeah, people, I guess if you're like maybe married into a family that happens to have a pet with your own name, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess that's the only way I can see it.
Yeah.
Or in the case as here, but that's weird. Like, why would the sister name their kid Charlie, knowing that there's a dog named
That's
Charlie
the
in the
thing.
family?
She came after.
Right.
Well, she didn't come after, but the baby came after, and she knew that and then still named her baby that. I kind of feel like sister dug her own hole here.
I'm pretty sure also Charlie is like a popular dog's name.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
It just is.
God, it's so weird.
Same way Max is also a dog's name.
You know what's funny?
But there are people named Max.
That's true. I don't really meet that many people named Max, though. Like, I know it's a common name. It's just I don't see many human Maxes. What's funny is I was one of my close girlfriends. Like, she named her puppy, or dog now, Maxie. So, yeah, very popular name. I don't know. I just think it's kind of weird. I think this is on sister. If anyone's going to change the name, maybe the baby should change the name. Because honestly, the baby doesn't even know its own name yet. Or his or her own name yet, right? I mean, if you really want to, I guess you could go for Charlie the Second. Charlie the Second's not taken, but it's kind of long. Why are you shaking your head? I knew someone who was the third Charles. So his name was literally Charles the Third
Yeah, I can see that.
because his dad was Charles II and his granddad was the original Charles.
Yeah, how does that go in the families? Like, do you go Charles the Fourth? Like, how far do you go?
I've seen stories where there's a name passing down. Like if there's a very special name that for whatever reason the firstborn girl or firstborn son gets, like they inherit that name. Like I'm just gonna throw a sample name, like Samantha. They're just all called Samantha, not like Samantha first, second, third. It's just Samantha. See, that's confusing to me. If everyone's name is suddenly Samantha now. Bottom line, sister, I think you should either pick one of the two options. Either go just pick Charles II. Although that's kind of weird because then it's like people will ask the kid growing up, "Oh, if you're Charles II, is your dad Charles the First
No, that's
or Charlie the First?" And then
no. You
you'll have
shouldn't
to
do
say it's the
that.
dog.
Yeah, you shouldn't do that.
So maybe not. Actually, I take that back. Don't do that. Just pick another name. There's so many names available. Look up one of those. I don't know if you guys have ever done it, but I sometimes like as a kid, I would look up, the most popular names in like 2024, 2020. Like just out of curiosity, see what the popular names are. OP, you are not the whole. Keep Charlie as Charlie. And your sister will just have to, go cry about it in the corner. And I think your parents should just not weigh in. I know your parents have weighed in. Your dad kind of agrees with you, but then your mom's saying, no, consider it for the family peace. F the family peace. Bring on the war. Defend your dog's name with honor. We're keeping Charlie's name. Let's see what the comments say. First comment, Glory of the 80s says, there was a post years ago about a guy who had a cat named Nigel, and his sister or roommate started dating someone named Nigel. So they called the cat Nigel and the guy Human Nigel. I guess that is one solution. You can just call the baby, your nephew OP, Human Charlie. That works, I guess. If your kid won't mind.
Why don't you name the kid Charles or something?
See, but then I feel like the sister would complain. Oh, that's too close. Now Charles is still too close to Charlie, so then dog still has to change his name. That's funny. If we ever had a kid, do you have any names that you're like, oh, our kid has to be named this? Or
No.
your family,
No.
does your family have any traditions? No?
No.
I don't like sharing names. I feel like it's kind of weird. Like in the same family, one, confusion, and two, there's so many cool names out there. I would want like the family to have more varied names. It's more fun that way. But maybe that's just me. Another comment, suggest that she change her name to Spot or Rover. I'm dead. You guys are so... The comments are so bad. I can't. No. Spot and Rover is just as bad as Rough. I'm just saying it. Like, no. Please don't
Milo.
Let's just... Huh?
Milo.
Oh, God, no. There are human Milos. Or what is that? What's the other one? Fido. Absolutely not. Please do not name your kids Fido. I don't know. I just feel like...
Toby.
My sister's cat's name is Toby. So it's like I can't look at another Toby and not think cat now because of it. Oh, another comment suggested adopt a second dog and name it Emily. Oh, no. Okay, no. I thought about it for a quick second. Would it be gold, pure gold, to see your sister's face when you introduce her to your second dog or cat named Emily? Priceless reaction. But it's not worth it. Don't do it. Don't do it. It'll wreck your own personal peace, OP. I love how the comments are not even saying a-hole, not a-hole. They're just giving OP fuel to like add to this fire. I love it. I mean, no, I don't condone this petty behavior, guys. Of course not. I'm just saying it is very entertaining as a bystander. OP, I hope you stand your ground and let Charles, oh shoot, now I'm mixing up the names, and let Charlie be a Charlie. Yeah?
I agree.
We have another story also from the subreddit, Am I the A-hole? Am I the A-hole for refusing to fund my boyfriend's genius idea? I, female 24 years old, have been dating my boyfriend, male 29 years old, for 3 years. And while he's always been a bit wacky, I usually find it kind of endearing. This time, however, he's really outdone himself. A few weeks ago, he told me he had a groundbreaking idea that would change humanity forever. Entertaining him, I asked what it was. His answer? He wants to invent a new color. I don't want to tell people to not chase their dreams and that some ideas are stupid, but this idea kind of sounds stupid.
Like what does he mean by invent a new color?
I don't know. Let's see what OP says. OP says, before we go any further, it's important to note that we are both college graduates. I graduated in biochemistry last year and my boyfriend in philosophy a few years before, which makes this all the wilder, I guess. I tried to gently point out that colors exist as part of the visible spectrum of light. So unless he was about to discover some new wavelength, this might not be possible. But he waved me off, calling me closed-minded and saying he was enlightened in a way that you'll never be. OP, you have the grace and the patience of a saint because if M, my fiance over here, told me, you know what, I'm just more enlightened than you. Excuse me? Excuse me? What? What does that mean? Are you calling me a plebeian? Like, what? Are you calling me basic? What is this? Opie says, at first, I just nodded and let him ramble about his vision. But then he told me he needed funding to start his research. Specifically, he wanted me to give him $4,000 so he could buy supplies, including advanced art tools, a lab coat, because apparently scientists wear them, so it would make him feel, quote, smarter. And wait for it, a trip to the desert because he thinks the pure sunlight there will inspire him. If boyfriend's a secret gambler, he just needs to ask. He doesn't have to spin the story. I'm just baffled. What is this? What do you mean? So you want to invent a color. You need tools and obviously a lab coat. And then you need funding to go to the trip, to take a trip to the desert because pure sunlight will inspire you. I don't know. This is sounding a little bit loony. This is kind of a little bit weird. I'm almost suspecting if he's just in deep financial trouble and this is his excuse, OP, to be honest. Those are my initial thoughts. What's your guess right now? What's going on? Does he truly want to invent a new color or is he just wacky? I don't know.
I mean, there are some, I'd say questionable, I guess, I don't know, people. I don't know if questionable is the right word. Just people that have very strange understanding of the world.
Well, then again, when you were saying questionable, it kind of reminds me. We've seen this show before where I forgot what it's called, but it's a show where people bring their own inventions and it's kind of like Shark Tank, but basically for inventions only. I forgot what show it was. But some of the inventions were just either already made or just completely so useless that I just didn't know what the purpose was. Right? I think one invention was like a hot dog bunner or something. I'm not calling it correctly, but like something that helps you bun the hot dog.
I don't remember.
Like, I don't know if you saw this episode, but the invention was like a tool that helps you put a hot dog into a hot dog bun, literally. And I think one of the judges or whomever asked the question of like, why can't I just put the hot dog into the bun myself? I think the guy who made it was just saying like, oh yeah, but then you'd get your hands dirty or something like that. And I just remember thinking about it, watching that, and I'm like, who let you do this? There's no way this guy has a support system because no support system would allow this man to go on a very public show to showcase this terrible idea and let it be aired publicly like this. It's just there's no way. So that's what I'm thinking of. I'm like, Or reminds me of one of those gag gift inventions. Like there's probably an invention that like, I don't know, like peels a banana for you. But let's see where OP's going with this. OP says, I told him absolutely not. I'm saving for grad school. And even if I weren't, I'm not dropping thousands of dollars on his whatever this is. He got mad, saying I didn't believe in him or his, quote, potential to revolutionize human perception.
Yeah, here's my take on this.
Mm-hmm.
Why does he go to the bank and ask someone there for a loan and see what they say about this?
There's no way. There is no way the bank is going to hear his story and then go, absolutely, approved. Approve right away. $1,000. You go, sir. Go on your merry way. Invent that color. Oh, he says, he even accused me of being jealous that he had a world changing idea and that I didn't. I got really heated and he ended up saying a lot of things about using my card as he knew the details anyway. For reference, he's been unemployed for a while now, whilst I've got a regular job. I ended up saying some things I do regret, but a lot of it was retaliation. Now he's sulking and telling everyone I'm unsupportive and afraid of innovation. His friends are backing him up, saying I should be encouraging his creativity instead of crushing his dreams. Am I the a-hole for refusing to fund his quest to invent a new color? You should dump him. Okay, that sounds harsh, but honestly, I am all for, yes, chase your dreams, follow them with a plan, go towards your vision realistically. I feel like it's one of those posters where it's like half the sentence gets cut off or something, and you're kind of missing the more realistic aspects of making it happen practically. Um, no, just no. Oh, this man can't possibly be what you're into. As your internet girly, I have to tell you, OP, don't do this to yourself. Oh my goodness. If you're dating this guy, and I don't know how long you've been with this guy. Oh, 3 years. Wow. Okay, 3 years. And the biggest red flag or pink flag, no, actually, no, it's just straight red. Red flag for me is when you said no, he said, it's okay. I already have details to your card. I might just do it anyway. What do you mean? Does this guy even like you? He seems like he's ready to put you financially in jeopardy and go against your will and betray your trust in a matter of like 5 seconds. Like he's ready to do it now, like pull the trigger right now. Why are you with this guy? Please dump him. Please dump him. Is that harsh? Am I being too harsh?
I mean, if you're gonna have dreams like that, I think you need to have some kind of backup. Not backup, but like you need to back it up in the sense that you can't just, especially as like it's thousands of dollars. Like you gotta have some plan of
But
how
he
you're
does
gonna.
have a plan. He needs $4,000 and then he needs to go to the desert to do research, honey.
Right,
That's
right.
his
So
that's his
like
plan.
that, like jokes, I guess aside, is he trying to come up with the color? I guess that of course already exists, and just kind of say that he created and he tried to like patent it. I know there's like some colors that are like, I guess, patented by, not patented. I guess I don't know what's the right
Trademarked? Trademarked, yeah.
trademarked by.
Oh, like Tiffany Blue.
I guess so, right?
Yeah.
Is he trying to do the same?
Trademarking color is a very interesting thing to me because it's almost like you're trademarking something that is somewhat readily accessible to everyone for some form of use, right? The thing with trademarking color, though, is usually it comes from you actually having some sort of brand or some sort of product to market the said color, in my opinion. Like we have Tiffany Blue, where it's like the jewelry company Tiffany Blue. They have that signature, what is it? Robin's Egg Blue, I think it's called, where only I think they can use it commercially. I think that's what it is. And I also remember watching a video about like there's this very specific shade of black and it's like the darkest shade of black or whatever. And that I don't know if that one was trademarked, but it's more like it's just very difficult to get. So I just don't know what the purpose of even inventing this color would be. Either he would need to build a brand around the color, which is kind of like backwards, and sell a product just in this color or something. Or is he kind of hoping to revolutionize the world by like having the prettiest, like this awesome, amazing color? I'm very baffled. I'm very baffled. And for someone who's been unemployed for this long and your partner is, I'm assuming, kind of somewhat supporting you in the relationship, it is so irresponsible to then put this on them and say, hey, I have this crazy idea. It won't make much sense to you. I'm not even going to try and convince you to believe in it. I just need you to trust me and give me the 4K. That's bonkers.
You know what my verdict is?
What?
He needs a job.
Maybe he should start with a job and then he can save for his own 4K to do whatever he needs with. I think that's a solution there. That's the best solution. Oh, there are some edits. Before we jump to edits, let's look at some of the comments. First comment from Snoobooks, saying he was enlightened in a way that you'll never be. So with his superior enlightened brain, he should easily be able to figure out how to make 4K himself. Not the whole, but you would be if you allowed the delicate genius to demean himself by begging for money from a lesser intellect. He's obviously better than that. Edit, my reply was obviously glib, but there's a possibility he's having some sort of mental breakdown, which requires professional attention. Imagine this guy really believes that he's onto something special here. And then his girlfriend posts a story on the internet, and the internet's like, so either he needs professional help mentally, or he's an idiot. And I'm just, I don't know. It could really swing both ways here. Who knows? Another comment, I would suggest to Opie to request a new credit card number so he no longer has the number memorized. Oh, I would go farther than that. I would secure all of your, change all the passwords now, update all your credit cards that he has ever had access to. Don't leave your wallet out. I mean, it sounds kind of sad, especially when you're in a partnership with someone for 3 years, that you have to start being more careful financially, almost like hiding stuff from them or making sure it's not as accessible. It's kind of sad. And if he's willing to commit financial infidelity, in my opinion, like using your money without your permission, perhaps it's time to snip, snip. You know what I mean? In the relationship. If I told you that I had a dream that I truly believe in and I needed to go do it like right now, like I need to quit my job, I need to go for it, would you let me do it? Would you be supporting me in it?
Yes, but I would need to hear it.
Yes, but anything before the but doesn't count anymore. What if I tell you and you still don't believe in the vision? Like, I want to be an F1 race driver. Wait, F1 race car driver. Oh, so yes? You nodded. So that's a yes. You support that.
I would need to see the plan of action here.
See, with the low cost of $399.99. $3,999.99 per month. You too can be supporting your very own F1 race car driver.
Wait, what's that amount?
$3,999.99 per month.
Yeah, you would need way more than that.
I only took the $3,999 because you know how all those infomercials, they always end in a 99. It's like for all the low cost of $9.99, and then in the small font you see it, not including shipping and handling, and also it's per month. It's kind of like that. OP. I don't even know what it could be with boyfriend. Either he's lying to you and he has some sort of other financial difficulty that's going on, or 2, he's having a mental breakdown of some sort and needs help. That could be it. Or 3, he genuinely believes in his idea. I don't know which of the options are most concerning or more concerning, but regardless, you're not the hole, obviously, for refusing this. And I just wouldn't do it. Say if I wanted to become like, I don't know, a singer, go on American Idol or The Voice or whatever, right? And pursue that. And you knew that I could not sing at all. Like I'm tone deaf, cannot carry a note for my life. But that's my dream. And I'm telling you, we need to do that. Would you stop me or would you encourage me? Because technically it's a possible dream.
It is very hard for me to imagine you doing something like that.
Why? Because I'm so practical.
I think you would be aware that you cannot sing.
Dang. So you're banking on my own self-awareness to wake up?
Yeah. I mean, somewhat, yeah.
What if I don't wake up? I'm like, no, let me keep dreaming. I want to be a singer.
It would be tough.
Yeah?
It would be tough saying no.
Oh my gosh, no. You have to say no. You can't let me go on.
Yes. I didn't mean it that way. It would be like I would most likely say no or try to sway you differently.
Yeah?
But at the same time, you never know.
Oh man. See, this is bad, guys, because I've been told that I can be very convincing when I want to be. So watch out where maybe you guys will see me on The Voice. No, I'm kidding. Please. God, no. Nope.
It would be one of those bloopers.
You're saying I'll be one of those, like, you know, like when they speed through, like they show the really good people and then they speed through a bunch of like people that were really bad just to show the highlight clips. You're saying I would be one of those people?
Hopefully no.
Land of the
Hopefully not. Hopefully you make it somewhere in the middle where they don't even show you.
Excuse me? So you would let me go and tell me to aim for average?
No, try your best, but hey, being realistic.
Man, it's rough out here, guys. It's rough out here. Do you guys have any, I want to say, dreams of your own? Even dreams that you think might be impossible? Like any of you guys want to be a singer, actor, I don't know, K-drama male lead, female lead in
That's
a
very specific.
star series? Because I've been watching a lot of dramas, that's why. And when I think of impossible dreams, I think of those. Or does anyone want to be president? Maybe that's your dream out there. Let me know. I'm very curious what everyone kind of has as their secret dream. For me, I'll share with you guys now. I'm thinking like I really, really want to be an extra in a zombie movie or zombie series. Like I want to be one of those like zombies that are like get like, I don't know, delimbed and then they're crawling like "Arr," they're still like moving. Like the main character thinks that they've already taken care of me, but then my hand grabs their leg or something. And then one of the beloved side characters get axed off because of me. Like I would love that. I would eat that up. I want to be some sort of extra zombie. That'll be so fun. Who knows, guys? Maybe in the next zombie film you see, I'll be there. That would be crazy. Now, I think this is very easy. Not the a-hole. And also, while you're at it, dump the idea and dump the boyfriend. Disagree?
I'd say definitely not the a-hole.
Yeah? You think it's too harsh to dump him, though?
Potentially. I think you want to have a honest conversation about it and kind of figure out, is he an idiot or he's just having a mental breakdown or something.
We do have some edits, so let me share that and see if you guys change your mind. First edit, in terms of drugs, we smoke weed occasionally, but haven't in the past few weeks. I've never seen him do any other drugs, nor have I found any in the house, so I don't know if I can really blame this on a bad trip. Second edit, thank you guys for all the advice. I've moved the majority of my money into my second bank account for now, which I'm pretty sure he doesn't have access to. OP, pretty sure is not the same thing as sure. Double check that. In terms of his mental health, I'm not in the habit of sharing his personal history online, but seeing all your comments, I do agree that this might be a mental health issue, and I'm going to attempt to approach him with the idea of a consultation tomorrow. If anyone has any advice on that, please let me know, as I don't want it to come across as insulting. I know he was down after his job, but the comments have got me more worried about more serious illnesses that he may have. Well, I'm glad that OP's going to try and figure out what exactly it is, but at least on surface level, I certainly hope that boyfriend and OP are able to sit down and have a genuinely serious conversation. I'm not trying to demean his whole vision here and his whole enlightened mindset, but a more practical discussion about what he really wants to do and maybe potentially get a job. But that's just me. That's just me. And if you guys have dreams of your own, don't forget to share it. And if you have enjoyed this episode so far on all these readings, let me know by liking this video and hitting subscribe, guys. And don't forget, if you're listening to me on Spotify, to rate this podcast 5 stars. Also, I've seen your suggestions. So some of you guys were mentioning that we should branch out into some of the other subreddits and threads and include more stories there. I will be doing that in the next episode. So stay tuned. Bye, guys.